How's it going, everyone? This is Kay, and today we have a figure review slash unboxing of Lin from Fire Emblems. This is a 1/7 scale from Intelligent Systems. Now, I never collected any other figures from them before, but I do believe they make a lot of Fire Emblem figures in general. I think they are making an Ike and Marth, as well as other Fire Emblem characters like I mentioned already. So, initially, I was a bit hesitant of collecting this line because I'm not huge into Fire Emblem. I mean, I played the old games when I was little, and I played the mobile game, I think Heroes, but I was never too invested. Nonetheless, Lin is one of my most favorite character because I just like her design. Simple, yet amazing. And for this figure, it looks great, but there's a lot of issues I do have with this figure, so let's just get started. First, I want to talk about the base because it looks phenomenal, especially how it's designed, the paintbrush effects, all these. I mean, it symbolizes the grass, but it's all sculpted, which is amazing. I do like the highlighted colors towards the top. So, in terms of the base, I just love it. Now, for the figure itself, the color scheme is a bit darker than the promo images, which is, it kind of sucks because I was hoping for a nice, brighter saturation, especially towards the hair and the clothing. I'll post an image on the right side so you guys can make a comparison with the promo images. But I understand when buying figures, don't always go by the images online, but still, the coloring being so much darker it's a letdown. But I have to praise the sculpting. Sculpting generally is really good, especially the hair. You see individual strands of hair towards the end, and the clothing sculpting, wonderful as well. The wrinkles and folds on the clothing. There's also some nice shading on the clothes, so I do really like that. Again, it's just the, I was hoping it would be a lot brighter. Now her face looks kind of awkward. I think it's the mouth sculpting. It just looks a bit funny in my opinion, but the painting for the eyes is beautiful. Really have to praise that. The worst thing about this figure is the sword. My God, it looks horrendous. It looks like a prize figure. That's how bad it looks. Not something you would pay almost $200 for. I believe I picked this up for about $170, shipping included, no taxes. Thank God, because some stores I have to pay taxes, which freaking sucks. But thankfully, I bought this from E-Night, great retailer. But going back to the sword. Holy crap, it just looks horrendous. There is some scratching on it, so that kind of sucks, but understandable. But it's just the painting, it looks cheap as hell. The handle's okay, the guard looks nice. Let me see if I could, now her hair is gonna block it, but I mean, the sword just looks horrendous to me. It's just the paintwork, even the sculpting just looks very darn cheap. So as a comparison, this is Musashi, by the way. This is how a $200 figure sword should look like. Just look at that. Beautiful, beautiful sculpting and painting, especially the metallic silver. I mean, that's wonderful. Now compare that to this, right? I mean, which would you prefer? I know I'm nitpicking a bit, but hey, I'd rather give you my honest opinion. Regardless, there's not really too many faults to this figure aside from the sword and the coloring being a bit darker, and her face looks a bit weird. Again, I think it is the mouth sculpt. But aside from that, everything else is pretty damn good. Like I mentioned, the sculpting, the painting, besides the coloring, of course, or the brightness, I mean. Shadowing on the clothing, it just looks really good, and of course the base, that's wonderful. So honestly, I think you'll be happy with this figure if you're a Fire Emblem fan. If you're just looking for a good anime figure in general, I don't know, I'm not really feeling it. I mean, it's a nice pose and everything, but I feel like for around $180, $170, $180, you could probably find a better anime figure. So to me, I feel like this is something you would get if you're a huge Fire Emblem fan. But for me, if I get to decide or go back in time and cancel my pre-order, I think I would have. Regardless, I did pre-order Ike, so I'm really excited about that, and Marth. So to give you a perspective on how big this figure is, here's just a comparison with the Funko Pop. We all know how big they are, and this is of course Deku, but no one really cares about him. I'm more of a fan of Bakugo and Todoroki, but Deku's alright. Don't hate me, I know the fandom could be a bit defensive. or sensitive about these statements. But like I said, to me, I feel like this is more in between a 1/8 and 1/7. When I compare it to the other 1/7 figures, it seems a bit smaller. You know what? I'll actually compare it to a Fate figure. Here's a side-by-side comparison with a 1/7 scale Saber figure from Fate Stay Night. Now, how I usually look at scaling is I look at the head and the body portion. Obviously, you can see both are 1/7, but Saber's head and, like I said, the body portion size is actually a bit bigger than Lin, so this would be a bit on the lower end of 1/7. I know it can be so complex sometimes. There's like lower end or lower size 1/8 scale, lower size 1/7 scale, higher size. I mean, figure collecting can be annoying sometimes because you want everything to match sometimes, but it is what it is. So that's just a quick comparison. So for Lin, like I mentioned, if you're a huge Fire Emblem fan, definitely pick this up. Now, for this review, I will admit I am being a little biased because I'm not the biggest Fire Emblem fan. I enjoy it. I like it. I like the character designs, but there has been previous Fate figure reviews I've done in the past where there were noticeable flaws, and I gave it a pass. So I just want you to know that I'm not feeling this figure. Maybe that's just me. No, it's definitely just me. So I recommend this figure. It looks great. Price point is also pretty decent. But that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for future figure unboxing. Like I mentioned before, I am picking up the Ike and Marth figure. I'm really looking forward to that Ike. Now that one looks great. Bit pricey, but it looks great nonetheless. That's it. Take care, everyone. Till next time.